When I got out of school, I went to London for a 6-week vacation, which is very typical of Australians when you finish school. Before you start work, you take a vacation, you go to the motherland. So I did that, and I just never went home again. So I got a job at a nightclub in London, and it was called the Speakeasy, and it was the rock and roll hangout. So when bands would do gigs around England, you drive out, you do the gig, and you drive back to London. And you drive back to London, you could get there by 2 o'clock in the morning maybe, or earlier, and you'd go to the Speakeasy, which was open till 4 a.m. So I got a job there, and my first job was in the restaurant part, and my first customers were 3 of the Beatles, who were just there for, yeah. I mean, everyone used to hang there. I remember the Who were there, they just started out, they were broke. It was a mess, their manager was a drunk, you know, and everyone was there. Jimi Hendrix would wander in and jam with the band, whatever band was on, he'd jump up on stage and borrow a right-handed guitar and go play it like it was nothing. So somebody there asked me, they said, look, I've just signed this band and I need someone to drive them in the van. They've got to go up to Leeds University for a show. And I said, okay, I'll do that for you. And I picked them up, we drove to Leeds, and they all got out and started carrying the gear in, and I helped, and they started playing the show, and I was just standing there watching. Because in those days, you didn't have a PA company, you didn't have a PA. You would have 2 extra guitar speakers on stage, and you'd kind of point them out into the audience, and there were 3 microphones. This was before instruments were mic'd up. No, mics weren't, you know, instruments weren't mic'd up. No, nothing on the drums, nothing. It was just any vocals. And I remember the guitarist had 3 pedals, volume, wah-wah, and a fuzz box. And every time he tromped on them, or often when he tromped on them, they would slide and the cables connecting them would break, and then he'd be off the air and you have to bend down and plug it together. So one of my first innovations was to build those pedals onto a board and have one switch to turn the battery on and off, and it became the first pedal board. Now, of course, you go and see guitarists have big computer-controlled pedal boards, but I built the first one.